but I'll keep it short because I just want to, be respectful of your time as well. Okay. Intro to fasting with Vera, and of course all of you, right? Amy and everybody who's here. This is our monthly fast, and why work with me and all these other folks who are here is because, well, number one, I fasted for 67 days to heal brain cancer and leptomeningeal disease, where they only gave me 3 to 6 months to live. And I fast monthly during infusions for 5 to 7 days. I'm currently making a film about the journey, and every day is documented on my Instagram at Vera the Cancer Goddess. So starting at day 1 up until day 67. I think I even went beyond, but yeah. And that was just a couple weeks ago. That was at our 11/11 event. That picture right there. And Dr. Thomas Segfried is basically the pinnacle of metabolic research about cancer, and he came to our 11/11 event for our nonprofit, and he spoke. He gave a lecture, and we're going to be doing more events together. But that's how passionate I am. I mean, I am so passionate about this, and I'm so grateful for him that he has based this in science. That's what we want. We want science. All right, and I'm going to keep going ahead. Why a group? Well, it's just more supportive. Like, I was sad when nobody was on this morning, and I was like, let me just text them, because it's like I'm doing, we're all doing this. We all have to be supportive of each other, because it's not like you're going to a friend's house and she's fasting too, so it's really great to have this support. And we do daily check-ins and notes to have. Okay, so this is where it gets very variable, right? So you can juice, or you can just do water. I would love for you to have a journal so you can keep track of your emotions. I would love for you to have a tongue scraper, because I find that when I'm fasting, I have a lot more toxicity in my colon, because it's all coming to the surface, which then comes to your tongue. So if you scrape your tongue when you're fasting, you're like, holy moly, I didn't know that this was this toxic. It's not the same when you're eating. Write about your feelings before and after the fast, and while you're doing it, because a lot of feelings come up. And you will share your experience with the group and others, and connect with your fellow fasters. And here's a quick movie just about, it's 11 minutes about why we fast. Okay.
Let's talk about what happens on the inside of your body when you're fasting. So over here we have a start of a fast, and we go 24 hours, 48, and 72. So there's a lot of really magical things that happen when you fast. Our bodies have developed over a long period of time and have adapted to starvation many, many times. So we have all these unique proteins that get expressed or turned on that have to do with your brain doing better, the different parts of your body surviving better. Our bodies have not adapted to the frequency of eating like we do now, like every 3 hours. So right around 12 hours, we get this spike in growth hormone. Growth hormone is the anti-aging hormone. It's the main fat-burning hormone. It's the hormone involved with healing joints, and it's involved with protein synthesis, or making different new proteins. Some people take growth hormone, get injected. I don't recommend it, but they take it to help heal certain parts of your body. But guess what? Fasting will trigger it automatically. So just by the fact that you're fasting, you can increase growth hormone. And of course, exercise will also increase growth hormone as well. So it starts about 12 hours and it increases as you go on and on. Now, at about 18 hours, you start developing something called autophagy. Autophagy is an interesting thing that happens with your body where you start recycling old, damaged proteins and microbes as well. One type of protein would be the advanced glycated end products, which basically, when you combine glucose with a protein, it becomes very sticky. So let's say you're on a high carbohydrate diet, and that sugar combines with your own protein in your body, and that starts to glycate or just kind of destroy some of the proteins in your body, and then they don't function anymore, and they get sticky and they clog things up. Well, guess what? Your body will start cleaning all that up and turning these damaged proteins into new amino acids where your body can use them. Amyloid plaquing, which occurs in the brain and other parts of the body, is a type of protein that can be cleaned up with autophagy. So it's any type of cellular proteins that are not working anymore in your body. Autophagy will start cleaning that up and start to renew the tissue. And it starts right about 18 hours, and it gets more and more and more as you start fasting. And in about 24 hours and a little bit longer, you start to really deplete this glycogen reserve, this storage supply of glucose in your liver. So the more that the liver is depleted with glycogen, the more you're going to be running on ketones as the alternative fuel. And if you have a fatty liver, for example, your body will start using that fat and turning that into ketones. So your body is finally able to start tapping into this stored energy, and you're running more and more on ketones, which is a superior fuel. And because you're running on ketones, ketones are an appetite suppressant. So your hunger goes away, cravings are gone. They're antioxidants, so you're building up your antioxidant reserve. They provide more oxygen, so your body is running on more oxygen, less CO2. It's more efficient. And because ketones are a much more efficient fuel than glucose, the thyroid does not have to work as hard. And you may find that your T3 is a little bit lower, but the thyroid stimulating hormone is normal. And all that means is your thyroid is adapting to this new type of fuel. Now, some other cool things that are happening right around 24 hours is that your inflammation is dropping significantly. If you wanted to even speed it up more, you can add some vitamin D to that, and that will really help you. So any type of conditions that involve inflammatory states like arthritis, bursitis, autoimmune type conditions start to improve about 24 hours. You start getting more gut healing because the gut now doesn't have to work so frequently with the gallbladder being stimulated and the pancreas stimulating its enzymes. The gut finally has a chance to just chill out. So if you have this condition called SIBO, which there are microbes in the small intestine, and they should normally be in the large intestine, that starts to become corrected. You start increasing stem cell in the gut, so your gut starts to heal. The heart loves ketones way better than glucose, so you start getting improvement in the cardiovascular function and as well as in brain function. There's something called BDNF. This is a factor that helps make new brain cells, so your brain starts to repair at 24 hours. As you keep going on, you would think you're going to be losing muscle protein, but that's not really what happens because your body becomes more efficient, and there are certain genes that are sparing proteins, so it's not using muscle protein. So the efficiency of fuel is much better. Plus with autophagy, you're using the old damaged proteins and giving you new proteins. So the combination is really good. So the amount of nutrition that you really need to run the body is a lot less because the body just dials down and it can run on a less amount of nutrients. So that's a positive thing. Now, the other thing that happens during autophagy is that you're also cleaning out microbes and fungus and mold and yeast. And to kill off those microbes, your body develops certain oxidants, and you also have antioxidants on the flip side. So your body actually makes things like hydrogen peroxide to kill off microbes, but it also, on the flip side, makes its own antioxidants to actually protect the body against the oxidation. So we have this entire balance. It's only when we have lower amounts of antioxidants and higher amount of oxidants that we get this thing called oxidative stress, which things start breaking down. But when you're doing fasting, you're getting a nice balance of more antioxidants and your body's starting to heal. Now, when you get to 48 hours, you really start to stimulate the stem cells. These are undifferentiated cells. In other words, they're cells that don't have a purpose. So they can turn into this tissue or that tissue depending on what the body needs. So you start to stimulate the stem cell and get more healing and more repair, more anti-aging. You also get decreased risks of certain types of cancer. You get shrinkage of certain tumors. you start making more mitochondria. Now, if you push it and go up to 72 hours, you get even more stimulation of stem cells, okay, and better immune function. But when you actually get into 72 hours or greater, I recommend you do that as a periodic thing, simply because a lot of people going into this have nutritional deficiencies in there. If you jump in too fast, you can get a little bit dizzy, you can have some side effects, so you want to gradually do this over a period of time. But those are some general things that happen when you're fasting. I recommend doing intermittent fasting on a regular basis, okay? And probably a good average pattern of doing this would be going 18 hours of fasting with a 6-hour window. So you would eat and then wait 6 hours later and then eat and then fast for 18 hours. This would be a really good pattern to follow. And then you can actually make it more strict over time depending on how you do. Then what you can do is periodic prolonged fasting to achieve additional health benefits, whether it's for your immune system because you have an autoimmune problem, or you just want to look younger with your skin, or you want more brain cells, you want better heart function, better gut function, or let's say you have cancer and you want to improve that. Because one thing that fasting will do is it will increase your resistance to stress. And even if someone's on chemotherapy, it'll actually help the body's resistance against chemicals and poisons, which is quite remarkable. Make sure you take your minerals during fasting. So I know a lot of people recommend just doing either a water fast, you're just drinking water, or a dry fast where you're not drinking anything. I recommend doing a water fast with nutrients, just because if you are deficient, you can have problems. So you want your minerals, you want your B vitamins, and you want your salt. Very important. Right around 8 o'clock in the morning, you have the spike in cortisol. And if cortisol spikes, sometimes that can cause your body to make more glucose, and you can have higher blood sugars. And it happens with a lot of people with blood sugar issues. Nothing to worry about. That will improve over time. But if you just add exercise in the morning, that will burn off some of that extra sugar. And if you're fasting, it's not coming from your diet. It's just coming from your liver making glucose, making a little too much because maybe the cortisol is too high. Okay, so just wanted to point that out. And I have videos on that. I'll put a link down below. It's called the Dawn Phenomenon. Now, if your LDL, so-called bad cholesterol, which is not really bad, low density lipoprotein is increased, the reason for this, especially if you're not consuming any type of significant carbohydrates and you're doing fasting, this is increased from a different reason. Think about one of the purposes of LDL. It's to deliver cholesterol to different tissues, right? Well, think about all the things that are happening when your body is fasting. You are going through a major healing process. And cholesterol is the raw material for your cell membranes, for your brain, to make hormones, to make vitamin D, to make bile. 40% of all the cholesterol in your body is there to supply the membrane of your cells, which is essential to protect the cell and allow for things to go in and out of the cell. So maybe one of the reasons why your body might need the cholesterol to be transported through this carrier protein is healing the cellular membranes. Or it could be that it needs to have the raw material to make more hormones. I would not worry about that. If you are concerned, there are various tests that you could do to determine what's happening to this cholesterol. Is it doing damage or not? But I would not worry about it. But anyway, I wanted to create a video just to kind of show you what happens to the inside of your body when you're fasting. Thanks for watching.
Do you guys see the detox while fasting? Good. Okay, so taking all that, and it's true, like maybe you start off with one day. Maybe you just start off with intermittent fasting. You know, when I started my fasting journey, I had already been intermittent fasting for 15 years. And now it's 21 years of intermittent fasting. So that kind of set up the groundwork, right? So do what you got to do. But first things first, like, are you intermittent fasting? Have you done that before? And so while you are fasting in this state, I recommend chlorella. And you can get it anywhere. Chlorella is very accessible. I'll put the links for that. But chlorella helps suck out the toxins. And then the activated charcoal is taken without food or what, because if you're just on your journey right now, just starting off and you want to try intermittent fasting, yes, chlorella with meals is great. And then at night, you take the activated charcoal and then you basically go to the bathroom and poop out all those toxins that you have gathered with the chlorella. If you're not eating, you just take the activated charcoal. The tongue scraper in the morning. Cilantro is good for detoxing. Coffee enemas are good in moderation. Infrared sauna is wonderful as well. Exercise and meditation. And the structure is you start with, like today, for instance, or the people who met on Friday, I said start with healthy fats and protein and vegetables just to put yourself in ketosis mode. And then don't eat in between meals. Go 6 hours in between meals. And if you intend to juice, you can also just start with juicing right away. And if you want to go right into water fasting, just go into water fasting. I would avoid the lemon in a water fast. I should probably remove that. And then detox support while you're in your journey. And then back. What, honey?
I go to the dishwasher.
Okay, great. Okay.
And clean the sink.
Okay, Mama, thank you. And then, it starts with healthy fats, then the juicing or water, back to juicing, and then bone or veggie broth, and then spinach and leafy greens. That's sort of like the structure, however way you get there. And the support, obviously we have this call twice a day. And you can definitely text me and call me, especially if you do the donation. That'd be nice. And the donation all goes to the breast cancer goddess. Now your plan. So what is your plan? If you're new at this, right? Some of you are fairly new, and what you start with is soup, broth, seeds, nut butter, avocado, flax, chia, hemp. Smoothies, berry and green apples are okay. Green vegetables, spinach, green cooked vegetables, protein, and ghee or olive oil. So that's what you would start with. And that's today, and you can start with that. However, for those who now go into juicing, which would be Monday, juicing greens, celery, and cucumber only. Only those. No fruit. No fruit. You want to stay green. And lemon and ginger, berries and green apples. Other veggies are okay. Stevia is okay, and unlimited drinking. So if you choose to juice, you do unlimited juicing. And then if you're continuing with fasting, juicing, continue with greens, lemon, ginger. Lose the berries and the green apples. So that was only like initially, but then you completely cut out all fruits. Stevia is okay, unlimited drinking. And Saturday, this can be Friday, Saturday, wherever you are, juicing, all veggies, blackberry, green apple, bone broth, unlimited drinking. So this can happen at any point in your path. Ideally, you're doing at least 3 days because that third day is when the autophagy happens. Now, is it the same with water fasting? I think you can get to autophagy faster with water fasting. As you notice, he didn't talk about juice. You can still do amazing things. Which I'm on a call. What?
Do you know where the great computer is?
No. Can you close the thing? It's not time for that right now. I'm on a call. Please close the door. What?
I unloaded and loaded.
All right, I'm going to keep going and ignore my daughter. She's not respecting me right now. Okay, new fasters can break their fast over bone broth, ideally, because that restores the gut. Watermelon is pretty magical. Soups and cooked greens. And if experienced fasters, like there's a lot of experienced fasters here, um, it's basically the same paradigm if you're starting, but if you're doing it right, which is what you're doing right now, yeah, just do whatever you feel. If it's water or if it's juicing, no judgment on it because you get there when you get there, wherever you go. And yeah, this is basically experienced fasters, water fast. So right now I'm on a water fast. Amy's on a water fast. There's some months that I do juicing, but I think I just want to get to the autophagy a little bit faster during the weeks. Okay, so this week's schedule is basically in your email. I have sent the email and all the dates and the times. So now we're just going to kind of learn where you are at. So Amy's doing she wants to go for, how long do you want to go, Amy?
Well, I'm on day 10 right now. I'm going to go as long as my body allows. Minimum 15, ultimate goal 30.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to play it by ear because I, still have to function. I don't want to get, lose too much energy. But
Right.
I'm also using that Keto Mojo
Yes.
to, it's really, really cool to be able to, I can double check things. So I've been able to slip in, like I went straight into that metabolic ketosis really quick this time. And I'm able to do like the celery juice with lemon, and I check 50 minutes later and I have no response. So I know that I'm still in the highest ketosis. So I'm testing what I can do and still stay.
So if you guys are wondering what a Keto Mojo is, it's a device that tells you where you are in your glucose, right, and glutamine
Yeah,
level.
you're close. And you know what? Honestly, it really like inspires me when I see how deep I am. I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
So it's like it reaffirms what I'm doing. So that's helpful.
Yeah, and Dr. Siegfried is a big promoter. I mean, he doesn't make money off of it. He just promotes it because he works. It's like a nonprofit essentially because he works for a school. So even when I paid, like I was like, oh, I want to pay you for the lecture. He's like, I can't take any money. So he supports it though. He really supports it. I recently got it on Amazon. And I'm excited because people ask me, do you do the Keto Jojo? Do you do Keto? And I'm like, not really. But I really do believe we need to know where we're at, And he says below 2.0. So I'm assuming you're lower than 2.0, Amy, right?
I'm on his meter. I'm all the way to the right. I can't go any more into metabolic ketosis.
Nice, nice.
So, and I've never gotten that deep into it, but over time, when you've fasted enough times, my body now just adapted so much quicker.
Right, right. Yeah, and you're doing water, correct?
Water, and then I'll do teas. I do powdered stevia that doesn't have glucose in it.
Yes.
And then, like I said, I've added in the celery, well, I haven't done ginger just because I didn't have it, but the celery and the lemon, I'll juice that, but only in small amounts. Like I'm not drinking I basically will do a little concentrate and then add water to it so that I have the bulk. And that's been working to just like sustain me. And at day 10, I feel so much better. Like midweek before I started doing that, I was getting weak.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful. All right, Julia, what do you think your vision is?
Well, I'm a very new faster. I've over the summer I did some intermittent fasting, but it's very different than my lifestyle is right now. I cook most every single meal in the house. Um, I love cooking and eating, and it's like a joy of mine. I'm sure everyone here can relate to that.
I like
Um,
it.
I feel also, coming into the colder months, I'm a little bit like, juices can be a little cold. Um, but I feel drawn to what you were speaking of like the
Intermittent fasting.
the intermittent
Yeah.
fasting,
Yeah.
and maybe just try that for a while. But I also really like the idea of trying, like the video is really cool to watch what happens in the body, and
Yeah.
I would love to experience that.
Yeah.
Um,
And then starting with intermittent fasting is great.
yeah,
Just like no snacking, just
yeah,
having meals and then dropping down to 2 meals and then seeing how that works for you.
yeah, definitely. And then I had a question too, like if I was to really try like the structure of the plan, what you thought about herbal teas. I generally make like a big, mineral rich herbal infusion
Great. Just
overnight.
fantastic, fantastic, fantastic.
Okay,
Great.
great, great.
I like Amy just said, like I had last night herbal tea, like
Yeah,
gotta have something sometimes.
okay,
Yeah,
great.
so that's good. So just get started with like, vegetables and protein
Yep,
and then just don't eat in between meals,
yeah,
Eat breakfast, eat lunch, eat dinner, and then stop.
great.
Yeah. Anna, what about yourself?
Going to detox from all this holiday food. Yeah, I've got to focus on it. I already do the intermittent fasting. But yeah, I've got to really focus this time.
Yeah, yeah, this is a great time to detox after all that holiday food. This is a trifecta. Uh, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas of food. So we can get through it for sure. But
Yes, and I would like to see where to get the, what is it? Ketosis, what is it called?
keto
Keto
mojo.
Mojo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll put the link to that in the chlorella and all that. Just
okay, put it in the chat if you can.
yeah,
Or
of course, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
definitely. And Elizabeth, are you still there? Are you there, babe? I don't know if Elizabeth is there, but in any event, so the next call will be tonight, and usually it's 9 and 7:30, or whenever I said 7 or 7:30. So yeah, just come in and it's about accountability, and the calls will not be this long. They'll be like 15 minutes, and it's all about accountability. I need it too, you know. I need it too. So you guys are doing great. Just learning about this is so important, and healing, and like they said, like anti-aging. Like people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, like to get what we get for free. We don't need the Botox. We don't need all that. Our body is going to be changing and healing itself through the metabolic approach, and it's really fabulous. It really is really amazing. I still can't believe, like, I really don't really have wrinkles. I'm 40, almost 46, and my hair is still brown. Well, even though I had to get it, after chemo, it was curly and whatever, but it's okay. I'm enjoying my wigs. And so, in any event, guys, I'm glad you're here. It makes it more fun to fast. I'll be honest. So thank you. Wherever you are, we have someone on day 10, we have someone who just started. It doesn't matter. Like, you have to start somewhere. The same way that when you train for a marathon, you have to start somewhere before you run, So this better now than never. So have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. So glad and grateful for you guys, okay?
What time tonight?
Oh, I think it's 7:30. I sent an email with all the times.
Okay, can you text? I'm not in my emails.
Oh, yeah. No
Typically.
problem.
I didn't even see for this one. I just caught your text this morning. I didn't see the alert.
Every time we have a call, I will just send a message.
Okay.
You're not required, but at least once a day would be great, just so you can set it up. When people start dropping like flies, I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on?
I think the best way to remember there's a meeting, what I do is I put an alarm on my phone
Yes.
like 5 minutes before, that way the alarm goes off and then I know I have to get on.
And keep in mind, I did send an invite through my calendar, so you should accept the invite, and then you get notified on the calendar as well. All right,
Okay,
guys.
thank you all. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.